Killer whales are more intertwined with the fate of our ocean than any other marine animal. Truly, these awesome animals are the living symbol of our ocean, representing so much more than their own species.
Ladies and gentlemen, one more time, let's hear it for our killer whales. All right, so now it's time to answer some of your great questions. So here we go. First question. Oh yeah, so many people wonder what it's like to be a trainer. In fact, raise your hands up there if any of you have ever wanted to be an animal trainer. Oh wow, that's a lot of hands. Well, then I think you should meet our dedicated team that interact with our family of whales.
Up on the stage on your left-hand side is Petey. This is Carlin. Back on safety is Summer. Once again, my name is Christy. Here's Tom. Candace. And Brittany.
And our trainers are so passionate about what they do here every single day. That makes me think of another one of your great questions. Do trainers talk to whales? Christy, I'll let you answer that one.
Well, Joe, we may not talk to the killer whales like you and I talk to one another. We've actually trained them hand signals, which allows us to develop the very strong connections and relationships that we have with them. Now, because of this, one of the things that we're able to do is answer important questions through research.
Here at Seaworld, we have a unique opportunity to conduct research about killer whales, asking important questions that can only be answered in a setting like this. So much of what we learn here is being used to help killer whales in the wild. Of course, there are other questions that can only be explored by studying whales in the ocean. By exploring questions both at Seaworld and in the wild, our combined research gives all of us a better understanding of killer whales and the places they live.
And that's what I call working together. Research flowing in both directions, from our park to the wild and back again. That way, everyone benefits. All right, time for another question. Oh, perfect. This individual wonders why whales jump. Well, I just happen to have that emoji. Look. Killer whales communicate in a lot of different ways. Sometimes they vocalize, and sometimes they use their bodies. And a jump like you just saw, that's called a breach. And they're actually making a sound on top of the water. When a whale uses their bodies to slap the water, it really creates a commotion, both above and below the surface. And this could be just to show their excitement, or maybe display a little power, or just get the attention of the other whales.
Oh my gosh, I'm scared.
Oh yeah, so some of you may have heard Christy mention our youngest killer whale, Maya. Our SeaWorld social media fans actually helped us name her. And here at SeaWorld, we're so lucky because we're able to watch newborn killer whales rely on their mothers for everything, from that very first moment of birth.
As a calf grows and gains some independence, it is looked after by other whales in the pod too. They help the mother protect the calf, teach it survival skills, and show the calf how to love and play. Killer whales live in family-like groups known as pods. Like human families, their pods can range in size from just a handful of whales up to a few dozen.
Oh wow, that's a lot of questions. But believe it or not, we get them here every day.
We sure do. Killer whales communicate using all sorts of sounds. Let's listen.
Sometimes they blow bubbles or bump into each other or even scratch each other with their teeth, causing something called rake marks. And those are the multi-line marks that you might see on the skin of killer whales and dolphins. And it's just one of the ways that they display dominance over each other during social interaction, both in the wild and here at Seaworld. So we've just heard how killer whales communicate with each other, but do you know how we communicate with them? We use signals. And here at Seaworld, we really do communicate with our whales, and we want future generations to be able to do the same.
Well, Jenna, this is my favorite part of the presentation because we have two lucky volunteers. On the left-hand side is Andrew. Everyone give Andrew a nice wave hello. And on the right-hand side is Adriana. Adriana, come on, move on up. Candace is coming out to meet you. Everyone give Adriana a nice wave hello. Excellent. Okay, looks like the Kaika is looking at Andrew. Giving him a hand signal. Let's see what he does. Great job, Andrew! All right, Candace and Adriana are going to do the same thing. Now, Corky's bringing up 8,000 pounds to give you all a nice wave hello. All right, Andrew's giving it back a Wow! How does that 56-degree saltwater feel, Andrew? Good, okay. All right, on the right-hand side, Adriana is turned around in a circle, and Corky got your signal. Look at that, you're dancing, Corky. Very nice, Andrew and Adriana. Tom has a whale tail for you, Andrew. Give everyone a nice wave goodbye. And look at that, Corky has a nice wave goodbye for you. Adriana, we also have a nice whale tail necklace for you. I hope that both of you will remember your day here at Seaworld with a Corky and a tiger, and hopefully it will inspire you to protect the animals in the wild.
Oh, there's another great question. Who takes care of you, Shamu? And I love that question because it lets us show all of you how much we really care about these animals. So, Christy, is everyone ready?
We sure are. You know, the killer whales learn to offer their tail like a Kaika is doing here with Tom. Did you know this is a very important husbandry behavior? They actually teach these animals to roll over and to remain very calm and to offer their tail flips. Now what you're seeing right here is some dominance displayed by Makani. Now although he is much smaller than a Kaika, he's actually the matriarch's son. So Makani is a little over 2,000 pounds, and a Kaika is much larger. But a Kaika knows in the social structure of these animals that Kasaka is his mother. So unfortunately, he has to wait until Makani decides to go up with his trainer or goes into another pool. Very nice. It looks like he's going up into a side pool. Now you can see when the Kaika returns to Tom, Tom wants to thank him. Thank you for trusting me and staying with me. This is a part of their normal behavior. It's the way that they communicate to one another, which is extremely important because they do have a hierarchy among all 11 killer whales. Now, as I was saying, when they learn to offer those tail flips, this is how we draw blood. Every quarter, our veterinarians come out and take a blood sample to assess the overall health of our animals. Now, you saw earlier that Makani was up on the slide out. Now, this is also an important behavior. It's something natural that they do in the wild to hunt. But we actually have to use behavior in our back pool so that we can weigh them each week to ensure that they're all getting the proper nutrition. Now, the high energy behaviors such as gases and breaches are needed to store well here and in the wild. These behaviors ensure that animals get the exercise they need each and every day.
And we know that our guests also always wonder, well, how much does a killer whale need to eat every day to stay healthy?
Well, just like you and I, they have different dietary needs, so depending on the animal, we'll determine how much food that they're given. Now, Maya, who we mentioned earlier, is only 18 months old, and she's eating 35 pounds of restaurant quality fish every day. All the way up to Ulysses, he's eating 170 pounds of fish, and that's because he's our largest killer whale at just over 10,000 pounds. Now, it's important to know that regardless of what the animals do, whether they're interacting with the shell and learning a new behavior, or simply just hanging out with their trainers, we'll give you all of our food at the end of the day, regardless
And because we've been able to determine how much killer whales eat throughout different stages of their life, researchers in the field are able to determine if ocean habitats are healthy enough for killer whale populations to thrive. And that type of information is invaluable.
Food, exercise, and physical from our veterinarians on all our killer whales' needs. Each whale's well-being is very important to us. We want to make sure we keep them stimulated and their minds challenged. So if you take a look up at the big screen, you can see some of the toys that we offer the killer whales. We can also take kelp out of Mission Bay. They seem to really enjoy playing with that. And we can also give them gelatin in different forms. Now, all of these things that we provide for the whales are ways for us to reward them, but also to develop a strong connection with them. Each whale is very different. Some animals like ice cubes, some animals like certain toys. So it's not our job as trainers to understand what each whale likes or what they find rewarding. So you can see over on the right-hand side, Brittany's just pouring warm water in Corky's mouth. She's really one of the few whales that like this. Now, how many of you think she's drinking that water? All right, a few hands. Well, you're correct. She's not drinking that water. They actually get all the water that they need from the fish that they eat. But we found that Corky seems to like that warm water on the side of her mouth on her tongue. All right, looks like Carly is up there interacting with Makani. That's very good for him. You can see that he's interacting with Carly, and Akaika is still in the pool. So we use how we train the animals. It's called positive reinforcement. And offer them rewards for cooperating with one another so that we can further build their relationship between one another. Well, with all the toys and games we provide, we've still found that the best enrichment is the socialization of our 11 whales and, of course, with our experienced trainers.
Okay, so here's a question for all you kids out there, because I know you want to know. Who would win if a killer whale squared off with a great white shark? So let's take a poll. Raise your hands out there if you think that the great white shark would win. Okay, a couple hands. Now raise your hand if you think that the killer whales would win. Yeah, that's right, the killer whales. You see, a great white shark hunts alone, but a killer whale hunts with a whole pod. So it's not even a competition. And you know, killer whales have even been known to hunt blue whales. You guys know how big a blue whale is? Well, at over 80 feet, it's the largest animal ever to have existed on our planet. The killer whales can hunt these huge animals because they coordinate, they collaborate, and they cooperate. Yeah, they work together as a group to overcome challenges much bigger than themselves. You know, I think that we can learn a lot from killer whales on how to overcome challenges that, say, our ocean faces. Maybe if we work together, we can change the fate of the ocean. And who knows, maybe even one day, the world. All right, more questions. Oh, here's some really common ones that always come in. So here we go, first question. Why do some dorsal fins curve? That's a great question. You see, dorsal fins lack any sort of skeletal support, such as bones or cartilage to support their height and weight. They're completely made up of something called connective tissue. So if an animal spends more time at the surface, over time, the tissue inside that fin might weaken and the fin can bend. Now, occasionally we see these curved dorsal fins out in the wild, like you see here in the photos, and here at Seaworld. All right, next question. How fast can it swim? Well, depending on their size and weight, a killer whale can reach speeds of almost 30 miles an hour. Let's check it out. Very impressive. All right, next question. How much water can their tails splash? Well, their tails, or flukes as they're called, are really strong and can bring a whole lot of water about halfway up these stands. So, time for the last question. If all of the whales splashed out once, could they get the whole